Recently, we hosted a webinar on the new third-party due diligence guidance that was co-written by the FDIC, Federal Reserve Board, and OCC. During our session, one of the questions that a bunch of people asked is, how are we supposed to manage fourth-party relationships or subcontractors? Well, the answer is simple. You can't. We're all doomed. Just kidding. Let's talk about some ways you can better manage the risk that comes with subcontractor relationships. While the opening was a joke, there was a lot of truth. You don't directly manage subcontractors, hence the name subcontractor. Since you don't have contracts or any legal documents with your third-party subcontractors, then it's very hard, in most cases impossible, to get information from them or to hold them accountable in the event of an incident. Well, this really puts us vendor managers in between a rock and a hard place. You aren't able to directly manage subcontractors, and yet you still may be held accountable if a subcontractor disrupts your operations or compromises your customer or member data. So what is a fine citizen like you to do? Do excellent vendor management. Your third parties should be managing their own vendors. As a vendor manager, your job is to evaluate how well you think your third parties are doing this management and respond accordingly. There are 3 ways you can do that. 1. Perform thorough due diligence. Before you begin a third-party relationship, you need to understand the risks involved. Ask your vendors about the nature of their subcontracting relationships and what their own third-party risk management process looks like. Take the approach of a stereotypical, hard-nosed dad who's interrogating the punk new boyfriend who wants to take his precious daughter out on a date. Okay, probably be a little nicer than that, but the point is that you need to ask hard questions and see the subcontracting situation with full clarity. 2, cover it in contracts. Without legal agreements with the subcontractors, the contracts you do have with your third parties are that much more important. While you might not be able to make your contracts as airtight as that ridiculously expensive timeshare your mother-in-law invested in last year, do what you can to negotiate contracts that define rules around subcontracting. And 3, monitor and make informed decisions. The best time to manage the risk of subcontractors is before you get into a relationship with a vendor. But let's say you've already tied the knot with a few vendors. It's okay. You can start the process of asking questions and reviewing contracts today. As the adage says, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is 19 years ago. Just kidding. The second best time is now. So go ahead and start reviewing those contracts. Thanks for watching. We'd ask that you like this video, or better yet, leave a comment with your cybersecurity or compliance question. We'd love to answer your question in a future video. See you next time.